ayes have it.
Hello and thanks for joining us on this edition of Senate 109. I'm Dennis Adegunloye. There is the need to galvanize ICT development in Nigeria, particularly to ease business and service delivery, as well as enhance employment opportunities. These were the comments of the Chairman Senate Committee on ICT and Cybercrime, Yakubu Oseniwal, on an oversight visit to the Federal Road Safety Corps headquarters in Abuja.
The 21st century is said to be an era of technology. This implies that individuals as well as organizations must embrace ICT. In Nigeria, different organizations, including the Federal Road Safety Corps, are paying the necessary attention to ICT. This visit by the Senate Committee on ICT and Cybercrime is meant to look at the Corps' ICT installations and platforms to identify gaps that require immediate legislative solutions.
I want to say that we are impressed because we have gone around other places, and in terms of rating, I must say that you are rated very high.
Corps Marshal revealed that ICT has helped the ease of operation as well as quick response to emergencies and surveillance, while also aiding field officers engaged in monitoring, amongst others, despite different failed attempts by hackers to get access to the core accounts.
The cyber security attacks are perpetrated in many ways. The Corps has recorded several attempts, mainly in the form of phishing, but none has been successful so far. To prevent these attempts from becoming attacked, the Corps has a smart anti-poaching email security solution, IronCat, which is able to proactively eliminate and delete potential attempts before the mails are clicked or opened by any member of the Corps.
The Senate Committee expressed readiness to collaborate with the Corps in areas of interest, while emphasizing the need to maximize ICT in order to ensure effective road safety management.
We all know that in the world that we are in today, ICT, of course, is an area that one cannot undermine. And as if Senate knows, sometimes in November 27 precisely on Wednesday, a motion was raised in the floor of the Senate to assess the growth of ICT in Nigeria and the associated cyber security and the need to safeguard the present and future of Nigeria. And we were mandated to liaise with all the MDAs, of course, to ascertain their cyber security constraint, data management shortfall, and if there is any gap in terms of ICT compliance level, so that the nation can know where we are and where to go. And that is why we'll be moving around, and so far so good. And it is a special visit that we're doing. Basically, it's strictly on their ICT infrastructure. We would have stayed in the comfort of our office and invite them to come and tell us where they are in terms of ICT. Of course, somebody can come here and tell you He's everywhere in terms of ICT, but we have to take it to them, to their doorstep, to see that, to tour the physical infrastructure in terms of ICT, so that we can see for ourselves where they are, what they have been doing, where they are, where they intend to be in the nearest future. And so far so good. The MDS that we've touched, I think most of them actually knows where they are supposed to be, and have to tell them that in your scale of preference, you have to prioritize ICT as number one priority, because we don't even know that COVID-19 pandemic is at the corner when this motion was actually raised, and it stand the test of time. And today, every businesses are going into ICT usage, and all that are going digital. And this government of President Muhammad Buhari is proactive enough to even include an acronym to the former Ministry of Communication, now Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. It means that this government is very proactive, and that is in line with that vision of this government. That is what we are doing, to put them on their toe, to prioritize ICT as one of the priority in their activities. Of course, when fund is allocated to you, or when you are preparing your budget, instead of going into frivolities, you have to prioritize, because if you really buy into ICT very well, ICT will do almost 60 to 70% of your work, and you'll be more comfortable.
Now, he has for several years been a legislator both at the House of Representatives and the Senate. He was the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly matters and is currently the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta affairs. Let's now get the perspectives of Senator Ita Enang and others on the forthcoming Edo and Ondo governorship elections, the electoral process in general, as well as the 9th Senate and how it has performed so far.
Well, what is happening in Edo in the build-up to the elections is expected because of the history of the PDP and APC in that state, the history of the candidates. First, there were contenders in the last election, and now they are contending in this other election, but on the reverse political platforms, that is the PDP and APC. And of course, there were the questions of qualification, there were the questions of who has candidates, there were the questions of security and so on. But I want to say that the Niger Delta and Niger Deltans have a way of resolving issues in a manner that does not get to violence. We were afraid of this kind of situation when we had the elections in Bayelsa State, and to the glory of God, I worked closely with Badaru and the governor of Kebbi State on the elections, in managing the elections on behalf of our party and the government, and the tension was very high, but it came out well, and the APC won. On this other one, the conduct of the elections, the conduct of the parties are peace-threatening by the way of their utterances. But I know that what the police, the security agencies, the inter-agency election management committee, and the federal government has done is calming tensions and is bringing the parties to say, let the words that you use in your campaigns and to your supporters be on issues and not on persons, and threaten not the peace. Seek votes and let every vote count and be counted. So, and His Excellency Mr. President has given fair and great opportunities to the major candidate. He's met them, he's addressed them, anytime they want audience with him, he's granted them. And so this also is a signal to the electorate, the signal to the country that Mr. President is interested in peaceful elections that will produce a winner. And this is the Niger Delta. We have a saying, worry not to carry last. Niger Delta will not carry last. So we will not do anything that threatens the peace of the country. We will take every step that we make ourselves in the Niger Delta a model. We produce the wealth that feeds the nation, that sustains the economy of the nation. We will not do anything that breaches the peace, so that the economy of the nation, the peace of the nation, and the international repute of Nigeria, and again, the reputation of President Muhammadu Buhari as being a person who says, I belong to everybody, I belong to nobody, which creates a level playing ground, will stand. Every state, every political party wants this to be actualized, so that this can stand to the credit of President Muhammadu Buhari, who's shown fairness and level playing field for every person.
All right, distinguished, you are a seasoned legislator. Just give us your take on how the Ninth Senate has fared in the past year plus now.
Let me congratulate His Excellency, the President of the Senate, Dr. Lawan, on his leadership, the Deputy President of the Senate, Omogage, on his leadership also, and he's working together without friction with the President of the Senate, and then the entire leadership and members of the Senate. It's been a smooth sail for the president. It's been a smooth sail for the country. It's been a smooth sail between the executive and the legislature. And of course, we were there. We managed the elections, and what was intended has been attained. That what was intended was that the executive and the legislature should work together, and it has been achieved. When they work together and when there are no issues for them to contend, and they simply pass what the president sends or reject in the interest of the president or the country, people say they are rubber stamp. They are not rubber stamp. They are simply doing what the Constitution expected them to do. The Constitution expects them to do. Because why does the Constitution say that certain matters must pass through the Senate? The President is one person. The Governor is one person. The Senate is made up of 109 persons representing 109 senatorial districts. A few other matters will have to through the National Assembly, which is 109 members of the distinguished senators and 360 members of the House of Representatives, which is 469 members of representing the entire country. It is intended that whatever you are doing should cover the interest of the entire country, and every person should also is represented. Therefore, what the Senate and the House of Representatives are doing, the way they are relating is perfect. The way they are working is perfect. The other thing I want to commend them is the speed of working. The other matter I want to commend them is the way that when the coronavirus pandemic emerged, they did not say because of fear we will abandon our legislative duties. They simply adjusted to the new normal. They created less sitting hours. They ensured that they now work more in committees. They now made the committees of less people. They obeyed and observed all the protocol that were set by NCDC. They also made sure that they do not have any crowd. They also limited the staff that had access. They limited the members of the public who had access. They increased the sanitary level of the environment. They create more spaces, and they also elevated their medical center, to be able to attend and address any possible issues that could arise. The medical center and the medical facilities of the National Assembly were also availed to other persons to the NCDC for different other matters, so that it is not only for members of the National Assembly and staff. This was a great patriotism on their part. Therefore, I want to commend them, and I want to pray that they go on in this spirit. They should not expect that the public will appreciate everything they want to do, because the public will always have a misunderstanding of them. And I have always said, and I want to repeat, woe be the day that the legislature and executive will agree on every issue. May that day never come, because if the legislature and the executive agree on every issue, then the public is endangered. The president and the governors are not in a position to know everything, to know what is happening. It is what the legislature investigates and finds out. It is what complaints the legislators receive that they conduct a hearing, and it is then that the governor or the president knows what is happening in the different ministries, departments, and so on. Therefore, in actual fact, the legislature is the watchdog for the executive, not for the executive and the head of the executive, not just for the public. The legislature is the one that makes the governor or the president to know what is happening in his backyard, to know what is happening in his different frontiers, which he is not able to be everywhere. The president and the governors only see refined and defined, limited and well-couched memo, which comes from all the other refineries, coming to the purest purity, to the purest purity given to him for assent or approval. He does not know the other nitty-gritties which the legislature will go to every length to see, to be able to protect the public. I'm sure, taking example from most of the hearing that the legislature has held, even in the last 1 year, they have shown that they are not afraid of the ministries, and that they are doing everything in the interest of the Nigerian people and in the interest of the government. One other thing I want to appreciate the 9th Assembly, which also happened in the 8th Assembly, and of course, is the character of the National Assembly. They do not consider any issue on the basis of political parties. Whenever you come onto the National Assembly, you come as members of the party. When you are walking on the granite, you walk up there as a member of your political party. But when you step your leg on the red carpet of the Senate or the green carpet of the House of Representatives, your political party dissolves. You become a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or a member of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your political parties don't matter. Therefore, the 9th Senate and the 9th House of Representatives, under His Excellency Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, has kept this tradition of the legislature in Nigeria. I think it is in Nigeria that you find this very much. In other countries, you'll find them emphasizing their parties. Here, they emphasize their parties outside the legislature, outside the party, but in the chamber, they emphasize Nigeria and Nigerianness.
They are all qualified to be governor. Everybody contesting that his party has given him to be a flag bearer is qualified to be governor. But only one person will emerge. And let that person that emerge be the voice of the people. Not the voice of the soldiers or the voice of the security agents or the voice of people uttering, ballot papers. That is where Ondo will say no. So, we are appealing to Mr. President once again. President Muhammadu Buhari is a peace-loving individual. He has fought war for Nigeria, for peace to reign. And he fought in the battle. God never claimed his life. That is why, after many years, at the time he lose hope that he can never be president, he was democratically elected as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Today, it's in the House of Rock. Therefore, we are praying that a dual election, and in October, on dual election, we want peace. We don't want to shed blood.
I think what is most important this time is for them all to conduct themselves, and knowing willfully that this is not just only the Edo State election. The world is seeing them. The nations are also watching, and the youth are also watching. So I think, in any way they may have conducted themselves that is not right, they should rethink and always know and believe that it is the will of the people.
All right. Know that you've been watching what's been going on in the Senate as an aspiring senator. How would you assess the 9th Senate in its year plus now?
Well, assessing the 9th Senate, I think there has been a remarkable cooperation and progress. And unlike what happened during the 8th Senate, you see a lot of misunderstanding. But now I think the 9th Senate are doing well, and I believe that like most of their agendas before COVID-19 came in, it's a great one. It's a great one, and the outbreak of coronavirus really affected a lot of things. But I know that the 9th Senate, with my own assessment, though they are collaboratively doing so well, and also looking towards the agendas that will suit in to the current situation that we find ourselves today. And I believe that they will do more. And when we also come in, we will also contribute our own by making sure we will formulate policies that will align with the current COVID-19 pandemic realities that we find ourselves today.
A few months ago, Nigeria was declared wild polio free. Now, Senate 109 crew was able to catch up with the first chairman of the Senate Committee on Primary Healthcare and Communicable Diseases to get his thoughts on this milestone achievement.
Yes, well, thank you very much. First and foremost, it's a thing of great joy to me as the first chairman of the Senate Committee on Primary Healthcare and Communicable Diseases, and I think to entire country Nigeria. And I want to use this great opportunity and this platform really to congratulate the President, congratulate the Minister of Health, congratulate the Chairman, the Executive Secretary of National Primary Health Development Agency, congratulate the chairman of the Traditional Council on Eradication of Polio, incidentally the Sultan of Sokoto. Congratulate also the Rotary International and several other staff, especially those in the health sector, who had really worked assiduously to what we are realizing today. And even the past executive secretaries or DGs of Primary Healthcare Development Agency who had actually worked hard to the realization of today. It wasn't an easy thing. It didn't come so easy. It took a while before we got to this level. And for us, it would have been uhuru some years back when we thought we would have been certified polio free. But unfortunately, we had that incident in Borno, which actually took us back, and the reasons are not far-fetched. You can understand because of the Boko Haram issue. So it was difficult to get into the community to vaccinate them. So that drew us back. But I want to thank God that eventually we have been able to get this behind us as being certified a polio-free nation, and by extension, then West Africa and indeed the entire Africa. So for me, it's a thing of joy having been part of this victory, because we worked assiduously, we worked hard, as the 8th Assembly with the Primary Healthcare Development Agency, the DG, Mr. Pfizer. Even we started with ADO, then Pfizer came, and these are all very passionate young men who worked very hard to get us to where we are today. Even we also have to thank the WHO and UNICEF, who really supported us. Even what do you call them now? Forgotten the name, who were helping us in the supply of vaccines and all that. So it's a thing of joy for me, and I congratulate Nigeria and Nigerians.
Well, on that positive note, we conclude Senate 109 this week. Many thanks for watching. I'm Dennis Adigunloye. See you next week.